Alright, guys, real quick, just to do the intro, this is your main man, Eddie F. and Diaz. This is the homie.
Drew B or Drew, because I'm grown up now. Except I made it to Instagram today off my Drew Stipper
Bro,
video.
oh my god, we'll see how we can link it in, but the homie here actually got, I want to say, shouted out. No matter what.
It was like a trash talk meme, but it's like everybody hates on the video so much, but it's just like, because, you know, they're kind of jealous that they can't do it. And it was like, I know that I'm having fun the entire time, so it doesn't even bother me. So I'm just like, oh god, I love seeing people get so mad.
Exactly. And the way, the caption, they said, young Adam Sandler. And I was like, what is this? What is this? Alright, guys, I'm going to go ahead and let him take a bong rip. And what I really want to do for this is I really miss the old conversations, the old interviews that we used to do. And I love the podcast. Don't get me wrong, the podcast is great, but it was a lot of editing, a lot of back and forth. And so what I decided to do is I'm going to bring back the vidcast. So every week I'm going to try to do some interviews and just upload them all straight up there. And so I hope you guys enjoy this first real episode coming back to it.
That was good.
Yeah? What are you smoking on?
Banana OG.
Banana OG.
It's pretty heavy too, so.
It's pretty nice. It smells amazing. It smells dank. And, you know, one of the things that I wanted to bring up today was I realized, you know, some things I cannot do high. I just can't. I try to record a song, and remember, guys, this song is coming out. I'm going to drop a music video. Everything is going to be legit.
You made your own song?
I tried. I tried making my own song, right?
Was this part of like a skit that you were doing, or is this like a legit attempt to put out a song?
Yeah, a legit attempt to put out a song. And so I really tried to go hard. I got faded, and I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to drop it. And I can write really well when I'm faded, but I can't follow tempo.
Yeah.
So the whole night I was like, and it just didn't work. So one of those things that I can't do, faded. But yeah, man. So what's up with you? Let these people know.
Nothing much, really. Just working and going to school. I've been doing the newspaper thing, and you know, I've had 3 articles come out so far since the beginning of the semester, and I had like 3 articles in one of the papers, and then 1 article in one of the others. Then the next issue's coming out in like about a week, and I'm covering the food that's done on OCC's campus and that's done on GWC campus, Golden West College, where I go, and how it's different, but they're like in the same district.
Interesting. If you guys didn't know, Drew here's a journalist, Drew.
Drew. I could be Drew now.
Adulting, right?
Adulting. I'm almost 30, man. So it's like,
you still got like what, 3 years?
Yeah, 4. I mean, 4. 3 and something, because I'll be 27 in March, so 3 years. Yeah. It flew by though, like it went by so quickly.
Yeah, because I'm actually gonna be 26 in November.
Yeah, because we're the same age, so it's like it's hitting you. It's like I've been having a lot of realizations, you know, because I'm gonna be moving out at the end of the month too. So it's like,
how does that feel?
Crazy. That's crazy.
Why? Like, what is the inside of you feel?
Scared, nervous, because it's my first time moving out. But like, I don't want to like fail. You know what I mean? Because I'm a big perfectionist, so I'm always about like wanting to be like, yeah, I did it, and like I didn't fuck up at all, or I didn't mess up at all. You know what I mean? So it's like if I could move out, be successful, and like do good, I'd be like, all right, cool, let's chill.
And the thing too is it's not until you actually do it that you figure out if you can't. You know what I mean? It's just that fear that's holding you back. I'm pretty sure you're gonna do swell.
I hope so.
This guy's pretty good at what he does.
Thank you, sir. I try. I mean, I want to do good. And that's the thing, though. Like, I need to not put so much pressure on myself to do good, because I do put, like, a lot of pressure on myself to do really good. And I'm starting to learn that you can't put too much pressure on yourself, because then you just crack. And you set unreal expectations of yourself. Because you're, like, your own harshest critic, you know? So you're always going to be very hard on yourself. But I've been having a hard time lately, because I've just been like, fuck, man, I need to do good. I need to be successful already. And it's like, you just got to follow.
All right, guys, I don't know where it stopped, but I just want to apologize. I got a phone call. I learned now to always put airplane mode, and we're going to go ahead and start that over.
Oh, as I was saying, so I just got older. I've been having a hard time.
Just want to hash it out.
Yeah, that's fine, because I'll sweep it up in a minute.
You know what? I'll just put it in.
Yeah. Because I'm just having the realization that I don't want to mess up, and I want to be successful. Here you go. That's all you too. So.
Ooh.
But too much pressure makes you crack, and you know what I mean. So you can't expect yourself to be perfect, because no one's perfect. It's like you, and you're like, oh, I gotta be perfect. So yeah, but it's not bad. How about you? How's school going for you?
Goddamn. Honestly, I'm not gonna be able to finish that. If you want to take that, yeah, because that shit is strong. What was that one more time?
Banana OG.
Banana OG, and I want to do a huge shout out to My Spot Collective. If you guys are in the, you're a good patient of theirs, yeah. I can't remember just because I'm really high right now. They're where they deliver to.
Lakewood, parts of Long Beach, Cerritos, Artesia, La Palma, Cypress, Bellflower. Yeah, parts.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know, look it up on Weed Maps or whatever.
Weed Maps, check them out. My Spot Collective, they're really good. Prices are great. They're always really good with you guys. For me personally, my school, my education right now, I'm taking classes for journalism, and my emphasis is public relations. But the thing is, I'm stuck in those journalism classes, so I'm doing a lot of writing, a lot of different things like that, and it's not what I want to do.
But like for the public relations field, that's like what the elements are.
Yeah.
Because like since we are studying the same thing, since we're doing journalism with emphasis in public relations, like the writing is going to help you later on when you're trying to prove your point or plead the case for a company or a person. Like, so like all this journalism aspects of like investigating things is really going to help you in the PR field. We just haven't gotten to that point yet.
Yeah. It's so true what he said. Everything that you learn, it will carry over, and it's help
following
you
the steps, like I was saying. You know, you're like getting disheartened because you're like, fuck, I just want to be done and doing what I'm doing. But sometimes you have to realize you have to follow the steps in order to do what you want to do. You can't just do what you want to do all the time.
Exactly. Okay, so these journalism classes, right? He said it so perfectly that it's the stuff that you have to do before, right? PR, though, has a different mindset. I feel when it comes to public relations, it's more about the money and less about, I don't want to say the truth or the facts, but you're not really trying to find the facts. When it comes to public relations, you're trying to sell the facts.
Yeah, you're not even selling the facts. You're selling the item or the product that you're representing. You're trying
the image, really.
You're trying to portray them in the best light possible for the public to make sure that the public is on board with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as far as journalism goes, like journalism has always, you know, had an impact on the public and public opinion through newspapers, periodicals, even through movies. You know, when they did the World War II reels, that's how people got the news back then. It's like when you went to the movies, you went and watched the war reels. So it was like journalism has always had an impact on public opinion, and so companies realize they can use that to their advantage to put out information and the best things possible through research and through public relations experts that can get into the public eye and see what is trending or popular, and then bring that to their company, and then portray their company in the light that they need in order to fit that platform. So it's a big thing, but you have to be able to work on multiple levels.
You got to be able to just handle it. And off of what he was saying, it's from what I was learning, the only thing that's coming up to my head right now is how young this is. Public relations is so young. You're talking maybe 70 years old, 80 years old, right? When there's been other, I want to say schools, science, you know, chemistry, how far back have they gone? Hundreds
of years.
This is fresh spanking new. There's so much room for learning, and not only that, but
job opportunity.
Dude, and this is what I wanted to say.
It's one of the largest growing.
It has to be. It fucking has to be, because you need one. Every company, let me listen to you. Yeah. You need a public relations.
They do.
And this is funny. I was reading a book, because this is the shit I want to do, right? Every company, if you want to be 100% successful,
you have to have public relations.
You have to have a public relations guy, and the public relations guy has to be at the level of a CEO, but not with the same, what do you call it? The decision making. You know what I mean?
They have to be different critical thinkers. Like, they have to be critical thinkers, you know, but in a different way, and they have to have a different train of thought, and they can't be like a type A and a type A. They have to be type A, type B personalities in order to work, because the PR firm is going to have to do and tell the firm or the company that they're representing the things that they don't want to hear. You know what I mean? And that's what they're going to be like, but this is what you don't want to hear, and that's why you hired me. Yeah. You know, like...
Because you're finding out, and that's the thing, knowledge is power. Everyone knows that if you don't new lesson for you. But if you know how many people, if you know how many people dislike something or like something, you can make more of that. So if they like product A but hate product B, there's no sales there, right? And they find out why. They ask them, do focus groups and all this. They bring you knowledge to make better sales and better products.
And then potentially they could even, product A could go out of business from product B coming back so strongly by getting public opinion, you know what I mean? And it just goes to show that like the power of the people is large. So once you actually get information from the people and what they want, and you put that information back out to them that it's available, they'll go for it, you know? And it just takes the time. And like I said, it's telling the companies the things that they don't want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, like, this isn't going to really help your image because, you know, it's kind of one-sided. You need to portray it in a different light, you know, or instead of it being a man, it needs to be a girl or something like that. Like, right now, feminism is, like, super freaking trending. It's trending. Feminism is trending.
Like, companies get tax cuts and all these different things if they hire women.
They do, and it's like right now it's like an incentive to like make women more powerful in the world. I'm like, cool, you know, I have 3 sisters. I could hope for their success in the world because I know I have a swinging dick between my legs, so I have a little bit easier.
It's true.
But hey, man, grab life right by the balls.
Yeah, there was a argument I was hearing on a podcast today, talking to H3. I don't know too much about it. I just subscribed, but they had Tai Lopez. You know who Tai Lopez is? No. Tai Lopez is this YouTube guy that's on every commercial. Here in my garage. That guy, Jesus. Right? And he went on there to say something about feminism. Yeah, man, I forgot where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought, so I'm just going to redact. And let's go on to something else, because I fucked up.
Tai Lopez. And this one time, I was watching a YouTube video, and I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
It was just too much to recall. I couldn't go back that far.
I forgot what I was saying. I forgot.
Dude, I hate that shit, bro.
I've started to realize, like, I'm super clear-headed in the morning when I don't smoke. It's really weird.
Do you have a schedule for, like, a daily habit?
No, I don't.
So it's just random,
it's
or
like,
what is it for you?
I've been getting kind of turned off by smoking lately.
Yeah?
Yeah, just because, like, I feel like it's been clouding my mind a little bit. Judgment, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, I just been thinking. You know how I was always internally thinking and processing, and I'm like, I'm just stressed out right now, you know, I'm a little panicky. Yeah. But now I got my resume together, you know, start putting it out there for some jobs, and start really trying to get jobs in the field. I'm gonna apply to the Press Telegram, all that stuff.
So what kind of job do you want?
I want to do PR, but I wouldn't mind working at a newspaper either, doing journalism, investigating. I like doing that. Like, it's fun for me to go out to a site and look around and ask questions to see what's different, you know, and compare and contrast, you know, like this versus this. Like I said, I was doing the food article for OCC versus GWC, and it's like, our cafeteria is fucking shitty compared to OCC's. Like, they have so much stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, bro, like, I would totally drive, like, the 20 minutes over here for lunch just to eat, just because I have so many options. And I was, like, really kind of butthurt about it, you know, because, like, we're in the same district, but they're, like, the glorified school, and we're, like, the ugly redhead stepchild, you know what I mean? Where they're like, oh, yeah, you're, like, part of the family, but it's, like, we should be the same, you know what I mean? But I don't know.
Is there like more room for you to investigate on other things just from what you found out so far?
There is, and like my article that I submit to the newspaper, they said that they feel like it wasn't finished, like it needed more information even. Damn. So I was like, damn, I put a lot of info in there, but my teacher was like, I want you to talk to like the faculty members, like, and get some information to add into the article, like it'll beef it up more. So I was like, this could almost be like a freaking, not even just a regular article, but like an expose even on the culinary issues between the schools, because I'm already over my 500 word count limit with all the information that I have in it. So if they're asking me for more info, that means it could potentially be like an expose front cover article, which would be freaking sick, dude. Like, first semester on the newspaper and get a front cover article, like 3rd or 4th issue in. And I took all the photos for it too. That'd be so dope. Like,
that is incredible, dude.
And it's like, I was telling you, I'm frustrated, but I'm like, you just have to follow the steps, and like, this is part of the steps, and like, you just have to do the work and not expect everything every time you do something. Like if you expect to be rewarded or expect reciprocation or even like something out of what you're doing every time you're doing something, you're not going to be successful.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have to take losses or you have to take it on the chin, and sometimes you just got to put in work for free in order to get your name out there and get the experience. And like I feel like that's lacking in a lot of people our age, because everyone wants to get paid really quickly, and I'm like, yeah, fuck, I want to get paid too, but a lot of people cut corners to get paid and end up fucking themselves in the long run. And I'm trying to establish like generational wealth right now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to be the one to like set my feet in the ground. And you know, like it started with my grandma. You know, she like planted her feet for us and is making it possible for me to do this. You know, and she's made it possible for me to do this. So it's like I'm really thankful for that, because I know a lot of people don't actually have that opportunity. And it's funny because like I'm Latino, as they say, like they like to generalize, and it's like I'm still really privileged. You know, it's like I'm not super poor, but I'm not super rich. You know, I'm like in the middle, but I have a good family.
Yeah.
And we have a home, and education is important, and that's what's been stressed upon us. And my grandma was saying, you know, she was really proud to see this, that like 70% of the student population is Hispanic or Latino. And she was like, it made me feel really good, you know, like I came here to America to make a better life and to make it better for people. And to see that 70% of my people are the ones that are in college, like trying to better themselves, it's really nice to see that, you know. And like, of course, like, yeah, you're gonna say, of course, there's gonna be more Latin people in college because there's more Latin people in general and like white people, but it's just something to be. I don't know. I don't want to say proud, because like pride race to me is kind of like pride in your race is just kind of strange, because it's like it's just race, you know, like you don't get to really choose who you're born into. But then the argument is like your parents chose you to be born, and it's like, but still, if we go by individualism and like selfness, then it's I didn't choose it, so I'm just an individual and I get to choose who I am. You know, if we're gonna get into the identity politics of it.
Yeah.
But it's it's cool, and so it made me feel good to like see that she was happy about, you know, people trying to better themselves, and it just made me want to do good, because I know she did like has sacrificed a lot for us and like wanted us to do good, so it like helps me want to do good for her also. So
Damn.
but I'm still doing it for me, because I'm doing what I want to do in school, and I'm taking my path, you know what I mean? But it feels good that other people are getting a sense of gratification from it also. So.
Because you are putting in a lot of hard work, and I feel how you were saying generational wealth, you kind of have to take a sacrifice, and I think every single person in the generation, your parents did it, your grandparents did it, it's just part of growing up. And it's interesting that you say that, because you're Hispanic, and I guess you're not being Hispanic sometimes. I don't know, there was this movie, Selena, or some movie where they're like, it's too hard to be Mexican American because you're not Mexican enough for the Mexicans, and you're not white enough or American enough for the Americans.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, because it's kind of what it is, because I feel that we're very blessed to have what we have, so it allows us to go further in life than some people, but it's not a bad thing. It's just like,
but sometimes it's
nice.
like you have to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
You know, especially in regards to coming up within your own community. Like the Latin community isn't very upbringing, as they like to make it out to seem. Like they'll help you get an education, but there's still a lot of like, it's racism within the Latin community, even in general. Like, oh, they're darker than me or they're lighter than me. Still, you know, it gets away from the black, white, Hispanic thing, and it comes into just a Chicano or Hispanic or Latino thing, where they start, you know, I'm a little high, so I can't think of the word, but they start like creating barriers or cliques within themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just give you the story. For instance, like this friend of mine, he was in prison, and at the time of where he was in prison, it was primarily a white population of prison. So, granted, they're all white people, so you think they wouldn't be fighting, right? But no. So they had people from different parts of the areas that they were from that would get together and join together and then fight each other. So it'd be like LA white guys versus OC white guys versus IE white guys versus like these other white guys. So it's like we just want to get into packs. We're pack animals by nature, So you're always gonna look for a pack within a pack, you know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You're always gonna look for a pack within a pack, and I think, in my own personal opinion, it just makes you feel safe, because you're with these group of individuals that you have your back, and beyond that, especially in, let's say, a business world, or you're at work and you have a homie who's the same race or whatever. You want to stick to each other, but if you're both Mexican, right, you'll kick it in the beginning. But what if one of you gets a higher position? You know what I mean? Like, there's always that. I think in any race, really, there's always that kind of, oh, nah, you like, can't get it up. You can't be up there. Yeah. Don't go up there.
Unless you're like a sellout. You know what I mean? And then they're like, well, then you're like turning your back on.
But I think using the word sellout is more of a term used by people who are just like
frustrating
on the back end.
Yeah.
The ones who are not gonna put their foot out.
Yeah, and
really,
it's
like if you're not gonna put your foot out there.
Because this was the thing too. Like when I used to work at the ice cream cake factory. That I got hated on so much because I was 18 and I was running the line and in charge of a bunch of people and making more money than like these 50-year-olds that were working there that had been there for like 10 years. And they're like, well, granted, my dad was a supervisor there, but first off, no one stepped up to like wanted to do the positions. I was like, I'll do it. Like, let me do it. I'll do it. Give me the chance and I'll do it. And I was, crushing it. So what did I do? I got a lot of responsibility. I started getting power and like they let me start doing things.
And that's the thing. They don't want to see you with all that responsibility and power. They don't.
Because then it just breeds jealousy, but that's just like human nature in general. You know what I mean? People are gonna try and drag you down. Even your own family.
You know what's so funny that you say that is like that's how it is. Like my dad owns a business, right? And so when I was younger, and I want to say in 8th grade, he said, hey, basically let's do this together. And I was like, okay, I'm down. And as I got older, I started learning things, and we had our back and forth. But I recently, like 2-3 years ago, decided, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a general contractor. That's what the fuck I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's me. I will do your shit. And so there was this one point where, you have your ups and downs. And I think that's with any business. And that's what scares people, is not having that consistency. But there was...
killing me.
It's just what it is. And so we had this moment where it was like nothing was going on. And, we went and we handed out cards and we were doing our thing, right? And we got one job, right? And we go and do it. And it was just me, my dad, and my brother. Us three doing a parking lot.
Oh, damn.
Right? And we had to seal it up, and my dad tried to do it, and he tried to do what he could, and he's just like, I can't do no more. And so I had to take over, and I finished the whole thing on my own. My brother did the mixing, we did it, right? And we were just afloat. And when we got that, we got paid, and we had enough money to where we also got another job, and then that paid to get that job done.
Oh, wow.
And then so it was a ripple effect, because then we got another one. And then we got another one. And now it's like, I see a little bit of consistency, but if you just got to be able to take the punches,
And you can't just depend on that consistency.
Yeah,
and be like,
you gotta
all right, cool,
save
now I'm good.
all the time.
You can't be like,
save
all right, I'm
your
good,
shit.
because like it's consistent. You have to be like, when it's not consistent, that's what you have to be thinking about. And as shitty as that sounds, is like, it's not being negative, it's being logical.
It is, because you will have those moments, especially if you're self-employed. And what I
Especially
think,
if you're self-employed.
If you're self-employed, one skill, if you want to be this, if you're young as fuck and you don't know what, just listen to this. Just save money, like 10 or 20% of your overall income. Save that shit.
Even if you're trying to be like, be a self-employed person or start your own business, like work a part-time job just to keep some sort of cash flow coming in until you get your business off the ground.
Yeah. Well, actually,
I know a lot of people are like,
I don't know. I have to disagree on that one.
I don't know.
Because one thing is, though,
because sometimes you have to fund your business, and sometimes you need money, you know what I mean? So it's like, sometimes you need just a part-time job, not full-time. You just need some sort of money to get your business started, so that way you're not dedicating too much time to work. That's why I said part-time. So that way it's, your main focus is your entrepreneurship and what you're trying to start, and that part-time job is funding your entrepreneurship, and that's strictly it.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm going with, like, sometimes you just need to work a little bit to fucking get yourself off the ground, Not always look for the person or things to come to you. Like you said, you and your dad had to go, you guys put out cards, and that was your work.
And that's the one thing, though, that I have to kind of say, how how much of this are you? You know what I mean? Like, how, if you want to sell bongs, like I tried that shit, I tried to sell bongs, it's just like, it didn't work, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not about it, you know what I mean? I don't care that much about it, right? But I love construction. I love doing that. Like,
so Mexican.
I love that shit, bro. And I make, decent money,
yeah,
know? Like, we're self-employed, so we make how much we want to make.
Yeah.
So, for me, I worked a job on the side, and it just didn't work because by the time I was done with my part-time job, I couldn't focus on the other thing because you have life, you have brothers, family, if kids and stuff like that. So it's like, if you're about it, you just got to be about it. And in those hard times when you ain't got a single dollar in your pocket, you still got to be about it. It's fucking crazy.
That's true.
Because you can't let one day go by. Because one day is just missing all this opportunity. And if I had a part-time job for a startup, and I was like, I'm making this dude money. I'm giving up my time that I can be using to make opportunities, and I'm giving it this guy for $11, $12 an hour.
True.
I was like, nah. Fuck that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it all depends on like what you're doing, what you're trying to do.
And that's why I go back to saying, how much are you about it? Because if you're not about it, if you are just like, then it's like, okay, work a part-time job because you don't have that cariño, that
like passion. And sometimes people just don't like fucking get going right away. Sometimes people are like slow movers and are like, all right, get it going. And sometimes it's steps for people to make that complete cutoff, and then they're like, all right, fuck it, I'm doing it,
Yeah.
And you get to that point, like you said, you got to that point. You worked a part-time job, and then you're like, fuck it, I can't do this shit. So you dedicated all your time to what you're doing, and bam. And there it goes, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a process and it's a learning curve. Everyone learns differently. Some people are right off the bat. Some people take fucking 10 years to get going.
Everyone does have their own journey. You know? Well, no, like
10 years.
But still, you're under 30. Most people don't really figure shit out. Do you ever really figure it out?
No, because like probably in like 10 years I'll want to do something else.
Yeah. I don't think.
But there's nothing bad about that because I'm constantly thinking on my toes, bro, because I'm just a person that's constantly thinking about everything.
That's like that hustler mentality, like ideas that you can execute and make shit happen with.
And like you said, like I don't like making people I don't mind making people money, but it's like my time's like worth more than the money I'm making. Yeah. So like if you're worth that much from my time, then like fuck, I'm worth a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like if I'm making you that much money, I'm worth a lot of fucking money. Yeah. And that's when you gotta know your worth. And like sometimes people get dealt a bad hand in life. Sometimes circumstances doesn't allow you to do things. And I'm a believer in that too. Sometimes people just can't break out of a cycle, or sometimes people have kids young and don't have the opportunities that everybody else has, and sometimes they don't have that opportunity to give everything up just to fucking get their startup off the ground because they have somebody else to feed, not just themselves. You know. And you gotta take that into consideration. But then some people are like, well, I do it, and it's like everyone's different, man. You can't say every two people are the same because they're not, and that's a generalization, which I ain't about generalizations. So.
And I had to admit, like, all the stuff that I was saying earlier is my own opinion because he was so right. I can, even if you have a kid really young, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I gotta hurry up because I gotta shower and go to work.
All right. So how much time we got left?
Like 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, so we'll end it real quick, but. So what I was saying is how, a lot of people have different.
I got high as fuck.
No, it's all good. It's all good, bro. That's what this show's about. So basically, everyone has their own life, their own little things. But if you have the opportunity, if you have the drive, if you are one of those people who wants to be that motherfucker, like you got to go now. Everyone else, like everyone has their own speed. But if you're that person who's just like, I want this shit now, you gotta run. Sure. You just gotta run every day, grind it out. It's exciting times too, especially in this time right now. You got internet, you got
porn,
all over the place, yo. I actually had this idea. I got high one time when I was thinking, what if I started my own Pornhub channel just so that I can get views, bro, and like not even drop porn, but like maybe like parodies and stuff.
Just do like videos of yourself like. Oh, leave the bandana on, big boy.
Like
take everything else off, leave the bandana on.
Oh, and that's the thing, guys. Like, I think cannabis, for me personally, just helps me get all these ideas. And ideas are just ideas until you make them happen, and just make them happen.
That's very true.
That's what I got from making videos. That's something I learned from that.
The one thing that I learned from photography is you have to be consistent. Like you said, you can't let a day go by. You have to take pictures every single day. Like, I didn't take my camera to work with me the other day after school, because I was just kind of like irritated and frustrated that day, and I missed it. Like, I was like, fuck, I didn't even like snap a flick at all while I was at work. Like, it felt weird. It feels weird not carrying my camera now, you know, which is a good thing. Now I see to get in the habit of fucking turning that bitch on and fucking snapping pictures every time I see something sick, where I'm like, oh, that's fucking dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that'd be such a good shot. And I'm like, why don't you fucking camera on, idiot?
Yeah.
You know? But it's like, I got that new lens for my camera. Shit's a banger. I like it a lot.
Dude, we should collaborate. And see, this is one thing that I love about...
I still gotta do your headshots.
Bro, and then this girl I know, just throwing it out there, this is how shit happens. You have to come up with the ideas, but I have a friend who's looking for headshots. And I was like, I've never done them, but I know you've done them. And she wants them for something, so she said tomorrow. So we'll figure something out if you're down. But what was I saying? Yeah, just grind and network. That's what came from that.
Yeah, seriously, the networking part. And I'm starting to realize, like, the more social I am at school, the more things are starting to happen. Like, more people are notice me or like recognize me. So I'm like, I can make more connections there because it's easier for me to talk to people when I already know them. You know. So going to these events for the newspaper, I'm starting to see more faces and the people recognize me, and then it's easier for me to approach them or, you know, feature them or interview them. And that's one thing I'm really going to start working on, is how to interview people, because I just need to break through my shyness and just start being able to approach people no matter what. But not too abrasively, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because you know me, I'm like a fucking goofball, bro. So it's like, and I'm so shy and awkward. I'll be like, hello! Can I get a quote? And then they're like, okay.
But that's so entertaining though, you know? Like, that's so dope.
I don't know. I'm just a spaz, dude. But I just can't help it. You know what I mean? It's too natural for me, and it's something that I don't like holding back.
Yeah. You know, something that made me think about something when you said that, about how you have this personality. You have personality. That's what it is, right? I was at the bus stop, and there was a guy who had mentally handicapped. I don't know what it was, but you know, you could tell, and he was trying to talk to some girl, and the girl was dodging him, you know, and I feel bad, like, I don't know, my brother has a handicap, so if they want to be friends, let them be friends. So he started talking to me, and we started talking about Modern Warfare. We had a full-on fucking conversation with a lot of emotion, and just like, oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
And it just made me think, I'd rather talk to somebody with personality than someone who doesn't.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. Everyone's equal in my book, but it's just,
you gotta have a personality. Like, yeah, the personality is a big part.
Yeah.
It's a big thing for me now. Yeah. Like, it didn't used to be, because I was like, fuck you to everybody. You know what I mean? But now I'm like, oh, it kind of matters. Yeah. Because like, who you have around you kind of affects your mood. You know what I mean?
And it also like it also can change your day.
Yeah.
You know, if you're right with the right person, like, oh, let's go do some homework. It's like, okay. But if you're with someone else, it's like, oh, let's go shoot some flick. Then it's like, you know.
Ooh, I'm gonna bring somebody with me.
Right? You
it's weird. Know. It's like, it gets weird when the situation changes.
Yeah.
Bring a camera out. Everybody assumes you're shooting a porn. It's like, where's the Jake?
We gotta get some shots right now. You know, you just get that zoom. I've been working with the
Fluffer
zoom,
on
dude.
set. Fluffer on set. Nah, I'm just kidding. Girls like getting their picture taken now.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, can I take your picture? They're like, you want to take my picture? Like,
they get all into it.
They're like, yeah, let me take your picture. Like, okay, go. It's funny because no one knows how to act when you bust out a camera.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just pretend, or I'll just like talk to him, and I'll just like talk to him like this, like me and you are talking right now, and then I'll just be like, it's just snap, talking to them. They're like, what? And then that's the best one, the candid photos when it's not posed. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I fucking like that shit, dog.
Yeah. I wanted to try out some photography, but I'm on that video.
My buddy wants me to try and do videos. But I really want to focus on the photography and the journalism.
If you know exactly where you want to go, that you gotta like.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind doing like video later on, because that'd be fun. Yeah. Video's fun in general because it's creative. It allows you to do more stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like, photography, you're presenting a scene and being creative with one element. Like video, you could have music and acting and scenery, and
You
can
could really
just
put a lot more into
a lot
it.
more mood and effect and like something that you're trying to portray. But I don't know. But,
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's the cue to end it. I hope you guys liked this very first real vidcast episode.
It went well.
Any shout outs, any plugs?
Just follow my Instagram, Juicedefer. I'm trying to put the photography out there. My YouTube channel, I mean, if you want to follow it, the video's up to 11,000 views now. That was like over a year ago. And mind you, I say strictly fun. Strictly fun. I'm like,
You have
la
to
di da
see
di
it.
da da da, like laughing, like I'm not even taking myself fucking seriously. And read the comments because they're so funny. Like that's the best part. The video itself is like whatever, but like people call me the Mexican Adam Sandler. Is really fucking hilarious.
Young Adam Sandler. The quote, the thing he said was, "Why is young Adam Sandler dabbing so hard?"
I was like, damn, that shit took off. But who knew? You know, who knew that fucking putting that one video out a year ago when I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do this because I'm bored would fucking do something. Not like it's anything, but that put my fucking face out there to over
Yeah.
300,000 people.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So that's like a lot of exposure. And like when you're talking about
And
broadcasting
you can
advertising.
ask him and be like, "Hey, you know, you're using my thing. I would like a shout out or something." Attack is like, damn, he's using your.
My buddy, like a lot of my friends tagged me in it. It's funny.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh my god!" One of
It
the
was
guys, one of these
crazy.
fools
It's crazy
tagged.
to
One of
see
these
that.
fools tagged me. He's like, "I used to buy weed off that guy." I was like, "What the fuck?"
No, that is funny. I didn't even think about that.
I was like, "Wow." They're like, "That's dope." I was like, "Man."
Oh man.
But like I said, 300,000
Yeah.
people, dude, and I was like, "Wow, that's a lot of people."
That's a lot, and it's just your face.
And my friends, they
right?
just wanted to tear me apart. They're like, "Man, people are being too nice in the comments. We're gonna start baiting them and tear you apart to get everybody just to tear you to shreds." I was like, "You guys are fucking assholes."
That would be.
But it's
so
funny.
messed
It's also
up.
at the same time. It's fun at the same time. You know what I mean?
And you probably get more exposure too. if
But
you
that way, and
drop,
like when people are
bad
like
comments.
shit talking to you, it helps you build up a thick skin. You know what I mean? Because it just helps you like. They're gonna point out all your flaws. Seriously, be like, "Fuck it, whatever. I have flaws. I have flaws.
Yeah.
Like everyone has flaws. Thank
That
you for
scares
pointing it
me.
out."
That scares me.
And so it's like for me, I'm just like for me, I'm so comfortable in my sexuality. Like everybody at work, you've been there. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're so fucking gay." Like, and I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I fucking want to fuck you right now. Let's get it on. Like, let's do it. Let's do it right now." And I'm like, "You just secretly want me to fuck you, don't you? Is that why you just call me gay all the time?" And they're like,
That's interesting.
and they're like,
Oh,
"You're
what did I
fucking
say?
weird. You're fucking weird." I'm like, "Yeah, I know I'm weird. I could get even weirder."
But there's nothing. Like, it ain't wrong. Like
And
there's
they're like,
nothing
and
wrong.
they don't have
Like,
anything to say after that.
Yeah.
They're like, they get all uncomfortable, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's right, big boy." But
wait, come back.
all right, I gotta go though. So
All right, guys. At Eddie F and DS. Follow everything. He's out. Yeah. My mouth is dry.
my mouth is
Trying
dry.
to lick it up. We're gonna drop the music video real soon. It's all gonna be on the phone, made by phone. So it's just for fun.
It's like rat-tat-tat. Ski.
Oh man.
God, I hope not.
I'm gonna get ripped apart
Clown
so hard. All right, guys, we're out.
Peace.